Greetings, salutations, happy Friday, everybody. How's it going? John Garcia, aka StayPuft, back with you. Hardcore Keem will be joining us in a minute. He is stuck in traffic right now, but for the moment, welcome to First Listen. And on the episode today, joining us from Chicago, Illinois, from top and then left to right, we've got Zach, John, Gary, and Anthony. I don't know where Gary went. He is here on the back end, so let me fix this over here. But otherwise, guys, how you doing today? Happy Friday. Congrats on the new album.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
How's
good.
your day going so far, everybody?
Yeah, today's been pretty fun. I went to work, pretended to work, did a bunch of social media stuff. Now we're here. So it's better and better.
Yes, pretending to work is the best. I do it every day. Awesome. So we are. I don't know what the fuck. Gary, I can hear, I can see you on my end, dude, but for some reason it is not talking to Streamlabs. We will be getting this here in a second. But guys, we talked on Wednesday. Spoiler alert for a YouTube clip that is coming up here in a little while. But just before we crack into the album, now that it's out, now that it's released, how are you guys feeling?
Wow. Grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. So far, we've been getting a ton of positive feedback, and that's all we want is for people to check it out. So.
Fuck yeah. Well, let's not wait any longer. Let's go ahead and start this. I'm gonna try and revive Gary from the dead while we're doing this.
Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. You never know what is going on with technology over here. But we have got, I have the playlist over here. I don't know if you guys are going to be listening to along as well. If you guys are, I'm going to hit 3, 2, 1 play on this and get going. What do you want me guys to do?
Just let it roll on your end, man. We're good.
Fuck yeah, let's do it. Then we are going to kick this off, everybody. This is the new album from Without Waves Comedian, starting with track number 1, Good Grief. Playing this here in 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. Such a frenetic start to this album. Now that that's going. Gary, I'm coming to rescue you, man.
Actually, it's probably better that no one sees Gary. We can kind of just keep him blacked out the rest of the stream.
And we got, I don't know, what's going on. Guys, saw him for 2 seconds, and he was here right before we started. And then as soon as we went live, he went away. And he's not coming back.
That's what he does with us, too. It's really weird.
Gary, are you on the phone, man?
I get it. He's on one of those, old, you know those MacBooks, very circular, and they in the late 90s? He's on an iMac.
He's on a phone, he's on a Razer.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can't hear you, but I've got, this side muted. This technology.
Yeah, I can hear you, Gary.
Panic chords right here.
I would let it roll, Gary. Yeah, just do your thing.
Yeah, I'm going to do a notification on my end that says you've got 1% battery.
Weird.
So this is the first single that you released for this album cycle, so when it opens up the album. Tell us a little bit why first single, first song of the album. Is this like a preview of what's to come?
Yeah, probably. It's kind of a good mix of a little bit of everything that we do, I guess. It changes up a lot. It starts out really intense, and then there's, some quieter sections. And then we also had the concept for the actual music video, so that was like a good thing that we knew we wanted to put out first as well.
You know what I was reminded of when I saw the music video first was the episode of It's Always Sunny where they coach the community like basketball team. That's like the first thing that came into mind, which is a good thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely out of the track sounded like the kind of the most affirmative, or as far as like when you're thinking about track listing, it definitely had a vibe to it. I think Gary was probably one of the first people who pointed that out. So.
And as soon as you say that, man, Gary is back and we can see him. Welcome,
Oh,
Gary. I
man.
can hear you now.
So
Oh,
good.
cool. I'm here.
Well, his screen is frozen, but we can hear you. So like, we'll take the little wins while we can.
It's a good start. Just pretend he's behind the
Wade Munson on the YouTube chat says Gary's probably at band practice with one of his millions of bands.
Hi, Wade. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's the man.
So like we did with our chat with the late they weren't listening to the album either. We were just like, we're on this song, and then they would just like talk about it. I'm just gonna like play by play what we're hearing right now. I assume that you guys probably know what we're listening to.
Absolutely.
Zach, I love the flamingo in the background, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Actually, it got really well. I got this at a wedding in Key West years ago I was supposed to go to. And for some reason I hold on to it because I hold on to everything.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, ha! She's back.
Well, but too, dude, you were the one that found the album cover, right?
Yeah.
That was all you. That's very appropriate that you have that.
Mm-hmm. I actually had a future basketball too, which fit inside of that hole, which is just strange.
Yeah.
It all came together.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball and flamingos.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's what this band's about. So.
Those things.
Flamingo Core.
So, speaking of flamingos, this is a weird anecdote. When I was, the first song just ended, by the way. We're getting into Animal Kingdom right now. Holy shit.
Nice.
I haven't listened to this album yet. I was saving it for today, so, like, my reactions and everything are gonna be, genuine and, like, actual, like, real time.
Cool.
Short story means nothing, but we were walking our dog sometime in the past, like, week, months, years, I don't know. And one of our neighbors' houses full, like, lawn flamingos everywhere, inflatable flamingos, like, pool toy flamingos, everything, just, like, shooting out of their yard. My girlfriend grew up in, like, evangelical household, and thankfully was able to get out of it. That's a thing that, like, church-going people do. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, where they, like, instead of TPing someone's house, they go and just, like, flamingo bomb them. And I guess it's supposed to be like, okay, well, we flamingo bombed you, now you have to host, like, the next community dinner. I don't fucking understand it. But there you go. That
Weird.
is, flamingo is very big in evangelical Christian.
Quite the community we were trying to tap, but I mean, I'll take it.
You guys have a couple of shout-outs and highs from Brazil.
Oh, awesome.
Hello.
Nice.
What's up?
Okay, so this track right here, just off the my first like reaction over here, reminds me very much of like later Strapping Young Lad.
Yeah.
We love strapping. We
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
do.
That's always been a popular band with us.
It's one of our like ultimate highlights as a band is when we played 70,000 Tons in 2020, and Devin Townsend did like pretty much a strapping young lad set. Like he played a bunch of the songs for the first time in forever. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was really. Go ahead, yeah.
Go ahead. No.
I was gonna say it was really cool getting to hear those songs. And in particular, there were two nights where they played essentially kind of the same set. One in like a larger ballroom in the boat, and then another one on the top level, like outdoor. And the night that they were playing, there was like this huge like windstorm, and the stage was like starting to fall apart. And like everyone working there did such a good job of like, you know, taking care of everything, but everything kind of got pushed back. And they got up there, and I remember they played the majority of the set without the backing tracks, you know, because Devin, you know, he has all the shit going on around there. But I remember that, and it was a very, very kind of like special moment for me, just as a big fan, just like hearing those songs in kind of like that raw context, because you listen to those songs a ton, you hear all that stuff when they're playing them anyway. So.
Yeah. Crazy. I only got to see. I saw Strapping Young Lad when I was like a itty bitty metalhead because they were playing Ozfest. I had just like discovered them, and they were just turned the new Black tour. So like right before they stopped being like an actual band. And I wish I could like inject the knowledge that I have nowadays into like my 15-year-old self, because he had like absolutely no idea what he was really watching. It's like, oh yeah, like this band that had an album that my friends really liked. That's really cool. Of course, I said Devin Townsend, and then the next thing after you guys started talking was like way completely different after that, where the clean vocals started coming in. So it's kind of what we were talking about on Wednesday and everything like that. I really like how your guys' songs from your discography so far just keep everybody on their toes. And, like, you don't like get comfortable in a spot because there's always something else that's going to be coming next.
Yeah, definitely. We just like to keep ourselves on our toes. I think everybody's got such a wide range of tastes, and we're all into different things. So that kind of is the reasoning behind that.
Yeah.
This song is breaking my brain right now, wait,
This is a
just
weird
heard
one.
Gary talking, man. The video is frozen for some reason, but he's still here. So we've got like a nice, if you can imagine, just like a presidential portrait of him in place of where the video is.
We should do that live.
I'm taking advantage of it to smoke a cigarette, so I'm fine with it.
Are you still on Animal Kingdom?
No, we're on Algorithm right now.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the one that's like, I don't know, like layered sound effects in here, lots of shit going on.
Yeah.
What's the dog?
Oh, she just left. That's Ruby.
Say hello to Ruby for all of this, everybody.
Yeah, she's chilling.
Gary, your drums on this song are out of control, man.
Oh, thank you. This was one of the first ones we wrote, I think, right?
This was an older composition for sure. Yeah, one of the earlier ones. So.
Not to spoil our conversation that we had, but I figured people that are watching right now deserve a little bit of a preview snippet. You said that you originally started the writing process and getting these songs together pre-pandemic, and then basically had to sit on them for a little while before getting them out into the world. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, we, in the past, I mean, we kind of have taken a long time to write and record stuff anyways, but that sort of obviously delayed things even further.
How tough is that for y'all as like artists and creators to like have something that you know is ready to go out there, but circumstances dictate it's going to happen at some point you don't know in the future?
I was nervous about that, especially in regards to the album cover, because that's not a unique image for us. We just paid to use it. So I was so scared that someone else was going to beat us to market with that same image.
Yeah, I just wanted, like, once we were done, like, writing it, I wanted people to hear it, you know, and we just had to sit on it for so long, and it was, you know, we were the only people that had really heard it. I mean, you know, we let close friends and stuff listen to it every once in a while, but it was, once it was done, it just felt like it was very timely as well, and I just wanted to get it out as soon as possible, but we couldn't, so, yeah.
Well, I
But
think the wait was worth it, y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it worked out, and it's like, now we can say, I mean, it was almost 5 years to the exact day of when our last album came out.
And you guys do, and I think Zach, Anthony kind of mentioned this when we chatted recently, but y'all do like to take your time with writing, correct? Just like as a band to make sure everything goes, because I know that it was what, like 5-6 years between your first album and Lunar, right? Something like that?
Yeah, historically, you know, we've you know, definitely in the past, I think it was kind of a part of kind of figuring out who we were too.
Yeah.
And you know, I would say we've been able to write better songs faster than we have in the past, but we still do put a lot of thought and time into feeling them out, you know, and experimenting, you know, when we're in the room together. That's a big thing with us, is like we still rehearse with one another multiple times a week, and have been doing that for years and years and years and years. So that allows for, I think, a lot of I guess even just naturally I'll walk into rehearsal late, as I always do, and then I'll, you know, and then you know, Zach will be playing just kind of like a random riff or a loop. He's got this looper pedal that he'll use, and Gary and John will start jamming, you know, and there's something there, right? You know, and then you point it out, you record it, you try to document it, and then you never know, you know, that might come up somewhere else. But those things come up because we still, you know, get together and play so frequently. So.
And actually, we did it for a while where we had just dedicated improv time before just running to a set or established songs. Mm-hmm. We should get back to that.
Yeah.
Very Spinal Tap Mach 2, right?
So you are witnessing the new birth of Spinal Tap.
Yeah, we've had several rehearsal spaces that have asked us to move out after that, so we've had to. You know.
Yeah. We also.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as like writing and stuff too, we have, like, we'll work on the songs for years too. You know, like the songs are never quite like done, you know, for a long time when we're just jamming on them. But, you know, like we already have some skeletons of like other songs and stuff that we've been playing before this album came out, you know, so those will be on maybe the next album, and we will have been playing them for years at that point, you know.
Hey.
By the way, while I'm doing this, guys, we're on set and setting right now, about almost 3 minutes in. Yo, this is so far standout track for me so far. This is
Awesome.
incredible. Hold on just 2 seconds, man. I got you. Yeah, there he is, Keem. You're live, man. Nice to see you. Welcome. How is traffic? I can't hear him. Can you guys hear him?
No.
Okay, 1 second. 1 second. No.
Not yet. No.
Nope.
Hello.
Yeah, we did.
There we
it.
go.
Welcome, man.
Oh, yeah. Traffic is terrible, but I'm here.
All good, dude. All good.
Without waves, Keem. Keem without waves.
How you doing,
Up, dude?
boys? Y'all doing? Y'all doing?
Hey,
good?
how's it
Oh, yeah,
going?
all 3 separate. Wait. Where do y'all live?
Chicago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. all of
I
Chicago?
I live in my car. So.
Oh, there you go. Hey, it's cheaper than rent. If you live in Chicago, cheaper than rent.
That's why you suit. No one questions it.
Exactly. Hey, but gas prices right now, I don't know about that, man.
I know. I'm not
Oh, no.
driving. I just live here.
So stationary, even better.
Pushes his home wherever he needs to go. Keem, we're on the song set and setting right now. Once the next song, Sleep Deep, stops, we'll do a countdown so you can catch up.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Otherwise, just enjoy me just, I don't know, stank facing most of the
Making
time.
faces.
Yeah.
Zach, is that Pellegrino? You said, right? Okay.
Yep. Can't find topos up north.
What is topos?
Oh, Topo Chico?
Oh.
We're big fans.
Maybe we'll get a sponsorship.
Yeah.
I think I have a size bottle to make.
Honestly, you joke, but when I was in college and playing in bands, I was legit trying to talk my bandmates into let's just get one of those white Astro bands and go to every business, and if it's $500 or $1,000, we'll just put a sticker on the side of the van like it's NASCAR or whatever, so that we can get our tour funded. Never worked out. They never listened to me, which is why I'm on this side of the camera and not the side of you guys.
Wow. No, that's a pretty good idea, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, actually.
Get some advertising.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is beautiful. We got about a minute left in the song. There's some clean vocal harmonies towards the end of this that are just so different than what we've been listening to in the previous track.
Yeah, this song is kind of in 3 different parts.
Our moderator Basil is like, I really don't know what the fuck is going on here.
It's
That's the proper response, yeah.
Also the only fade out on the record, I think.
I've learned that people have a lot of feelings about fade outs.
I like them when they're used sparingly.
I think it's our first one, right?
I think so, yeah.
Oh yeah, we tried to stay away from them previously, but
Yeah.
so
I've never minded them. I know that people have, we were saying, people have a feeling towards them, but for me it's always, all right, well, you're just gonna do this live, right? You have to end the song actually live, right? So how are you gonna do that? Keem, if you're ready, man, I've got this next song pulled up and we can do a countdown to get you started.
Do it.
All right, man. Let's do this. Sleep Deep in 3, 2, 1, play. All right, here we go. I've heard some people mentioning this song in the chat, so I'm very, very excited to get a chance to hear it.
Awesome.
Hey, Panos, how is that now, man? I'm trying to get the levels correct. You doing all right?
Oh, Good Grief was the first one. I wanted to talk about their basketball playing skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got time, dude. We have so much time.
All real. Every shot was made by each one of us. There was no editing of any.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
There was no
was
cuts. No cuts whatsoever.
No, like we
Yeah.
mentioned this a couple of there were legitimate NBA scouts there. They were there while we were filming. And, you know, we got a couple, you know, we're in talks. We got some big things planned for next season. So,
Yeah.
Hey, the Lakers need you right now.
yeah. I think we probably do an okay job.
Yeah, LeBron's gonna retire, and we'll kind of sub in for him.
Yeah, he needs help.
We could play with LeBron. Oh my God.
Yeah, for four of us. Played with LeBron.
Take the band to the next level.
No, I mean we would feed off of his talent. He's obviously one of the best basketball players of all time. But I'll have our people contact his people.
Set something up. Definitely set up a scrimmage. Just to
Yeah.
I imagine y'all could pot 10 points if you're playing with LeBron just by virtue of like being next to LeBron.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Yeah, we could like beat Orlando.
Thanks, man. Yeah, this song is we kind of placed it right in the middle of the record because we felt it was a bit of a palate cleanser, you know, compared to the first four songs, and a bridge to that to the next song we'll listen to after this. So.
And actually, I think this was the last addition to the record too.
Yeah, it was.
How much time
Yeah,
do you spend on like thinking about
Anthony brought this idea in at the last minute.
I always ask because I'm an albums guy and I know that bands will sometimes torture over it. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes. What do you guys say?
Takes a while.
I've done the torture portion of that.
I think for us, this one wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Anthony came up with the sequencing,
Yeah.
and it felt right. Like at least for me, once I sat down and kind of through the tracks, it felt right.
We talked about it for a while and figured it out, but like once this one did come together a little more organically than our previous album for sure.
And that's always such a tough thing too, because especially when you're so close to everything and so deeply involved, it's hard to kind of look at everything objectively as well as far as Low is concerned. But a very very important part of any record, for sure. So
Especially when it's almost an hour long.
yeah.
This is really nice. I don't think we've had a whole lot of clean guitars and stuff like that on this album so far.
Yeah, I mean, you might be on the outro of the tune, where it's just guitar, or if you'll get there eventually. Yeah, so that was actually very spontaneous. We were tracking drums, and as we were finishing up, I sort of struck those chords, kind of over and over again, and was like, "Oh, there might be something here that wasn't there before," And so we all deemed it, good enough, and again, acting sort of as a bridge to do what scares you, the next song. I think it felt right. So
I'm ready for it. It's the chords are ringing out right now, and we're about ready to transition.
Awesome.
Okay, weird noises.
It kind of got like an eerie.
Yeah. I know where we are.
I don't know if you guys talked about it. Why comedian?
Ooh.
Good question.
Yeah, comedian's tough. Boy, that's kind of a multi-layered answer. Should I go first? Anthony, do you want to go first?
You should go first, yeah.
Okay. There's a couple different reasons. One that I like is that, to a certain degree, comedians are truth tellers. In the sense that often what makes something funny is looking at something in two different ways. Like, a lot of times you're just pointing out the obvious. It's there right in front of you every day, but you've never looked at it that way.
Right.
And once that revelation happens, it can be funny. And that creates kind of shared experience between both parties. And that's kind of how I want the record to work with listeners. There's a lot on this record that has to do with duality and perspective.
Right.
But at the same time, it's really just about seeing who we are and just trying to connect with listeners and just being honest.
I like that. I really like that.
Cool. Anyone else want to add? I have other books we can call it there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, for me, you know, the record is kind of like Zach was saying the duality of it all, and specifically, you know, there is humor in human tragedy, and you know, it just kind of depends on the way you look at it. But yeah, no, I would agree with all of those points, and just again, it's just also just like promoting that exchange too, you know, between people. You know, one thing, like, you know, good grief, the lead track kind of touches on is just like, you know, people not necessarily talking to each other anymore, you know, when they disagree. Whereas, you know, you don't necessarily have to accept anything or everything that someone says, or you can certainly call it out when it's fucked up. But just promoting that just a human exchange between people. We got to do more of that, like we're doing now.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at us.
I definitely agree. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, so like 2010, like there was more talk. Like you could disagree with somebody and still respect them. Now it's like, if you disagree, you're canceled. I don't want to talk to you. It's like people lose like friendships and stuff like that over just a small disagreement, which I like that. Like
Exactly.
Duality thing. Yeah.
And to a certain extent, like, you know, I'm a little bit older now, so like when I look at the world, I try to look at it not for what it could be, but for what it is. And we're a silly bunch, man. Like, really, silly bunch. And
I like that. Stay that way, because there's a lot of.
Yeah, I think I heard Anderson Cooper call the war in Ukraine silly the other night. That's terrible.
Well, I like that y'all haven't lost your passion for what we do, the goofiness, and like not taking yourselves too seriously, and you're still just like enjoying having fun making music and doing this thing that y'all do. Because I think that it comes through both here and in the music.
Awesome. Yeah, dude, like at the end of the day, we're still just four dudes who played in a band, just doing it. And honestly, it's really important to us. Like, I never thought about it much until the pandemic, like, kind of forced us to stop for a little bit. That's just you. That's just always what we've done. But it's been an important anchor, at least for my life.
Oh, for sure. Like, I mean, just, you know, just even in our personal lives, but then, yeah, the world around us, you know, what's happening over there is fucked up and awful for people. The past, you know, 4, 5, 6 years here, just even from just the toxicity of, you know, within media and how we're just kind of pummeled by it, you know, consistently. It's very important to whatever you put out into the world, you know, artistically, you know, to keep that, to protect that, you know, and continue, you know, striving for that, you know. And we've done a pretty good job collectively together, you know, doing that, I think.
Yeah, I think that's so important to kind of share a little bit about myself that's related to that, right? Like, I worked in music for 5 years. My degree is in photojournalism, right? I was like I used to like work for small town newspapers that don't exist anymore because they've got bought out by venture capital funds and stuff like that. And having to just like sit there on the other side of that during everything that happened, and it's true, Zach. It really puts into perspective like the things that matter to you. And like for me, it was the same way. It was like I'd rather be spending or sharing and listening to music, like doing whatever I can for the genre, whatever it is, rather than be like sitting behind a desk all day or doing something, and like that it really crystallizes over the last couple of years what's important to you and what matters to the individual. And I know there's been a lot of shit that's happened over the past little while, but there's also been a lot of silver linings too that we gotta recognize and shout out and everything like that, because it's all doom and gloom. I was telling you before we came on, I try not to get bogged down with negativity, but like if it's all doom and gloom, then I don't know, like what are we even doing?
Yeah, no, totally.
Exactly, and that kind of circles back to the comedian meaning, like with what was it, Kafka looking at Sisyphus, from Greek mythology, pushing the boulder up the hill. Like that guy's kind of all figured out. Kind of everything's kind of a moot point in the grand scheme of things. Like we'll all just be dust in the cosmos soon enough. So, like.
I literally had this exact same conversation like 2 days ago with my
Hopefully on mushrooms or something.
I wish, man.
Shiitake or portobello? Gary?
Yeah, you pick.
So I've heard this song before, right? Sorry to cut you off, but Slight and Shadows is starting right now. And it really is, like, I love hearing singles in the context of the album, because that, like, a cappella beginning or whatever is, like, after the frenetic end of what we just heard going into this, like, crazy-ass riff and drumming. Really, really cool in the context of everything.
Awesome.
Yeah, I give Gary consistently, our relationship kind of comprises of each other.
Yeah, this was
Go for it, dude. Did he
I
freak?
think we lost Gary.
Well, he was talking about how strenuous, I think.
I was just going to say that... Okay, just go without me.
Okay.
I think you were trying to say the drums on this record are incredible, but this song in particular was very strenuous. And that is what I was trying to get at, is that Gary and I have a somewhat contentious relationship with each other, where we really on a consistent basis put each other down, even in more public settings like this, outwardly. So I was going to completely disagree and say we let him into the studio. He thought he was recording, but we just copied and pasted everything in the studio afterward or whatever.
It's like giving your kid brother the controller that's not plugged in, so that they think that they're playing games.
Exactly. A lot of this from the booth, thumbs up and stuff like that. And he had no idea. But no, in reality, Gary did an incredible job of. I think you said something. Yeah, Gary did an incredible job of really kind of bringing a rhythmic. He just brought a lot out of the songs that weren't originally there, and I think that's what good drummers do, So you did good, Gary. You did good.
Yeah, let's hear it for Gary, everybody.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
The only true guitar solo in this song as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't notice that before. It's like, it's not like you need a solo in every song. Like, so far this album hasn't at all, like, I haven't missed them. You know what I mean? Like, they haven't needed to be there. gonna be anticlimactic because this reminds me of something, but I have no idea what it is in this story. I hear this and there's like, and maybe it's like amalgamations, like a transformer, like a Lego set of like a bunch of different things all at once. But that vocal hook for the I guess the chorus or whatever this is that I was listening to right now always remind me of something. So I guess good job, guys. You're doing something new.
Oh. Thanks.
Whew. Keep you and I.
That's good.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, we're
good.
just like,
The way they transition back and forth between the heavier parts, this is good job, Gary.
Thank you.
y'all, we're on day 15 now for band and for chat.
Excellent.
There are a lot of very subtle cinematic moments throughout this. Like, I'm thinking about like the intro to this is kind of like a tension build. I mean, you guys did mention this. It's both in our chat and in the promo material that I've seen about anxiety being a very like through line through that. I can very much hear that with whatever like ambient intro they had with this song.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean this record was definitely thematically, you know, from a lyrical point of view, but also even in performance in the studio. Like, you know, there were times where, you know, I was very, very anxious, and to the point where I was kind of injecting it into the room as we were recording, which you know, sucked, but also I think was pretty fruitful because I think we got some pretty like unique performances out of it too, you know. And I think, you know, anytime you're trying to do something artistically, or even just for a song that you know has been written and you've been performing you know, for a while and rehearsing, and then you go into the studio to record it, it's important to try to capture, you know, the emotion behind it. And I think we all did a really good job of that this time around, you know, just instrumentally, vocally. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, and this was not an easy record to make. Like, this was...
Even like songs like this in particular that are more of like the softer or simpler songs ended up being really, really tricky in the studio to get down.
Yeah, there's nothing to hide behind. Yeah, the way, like, the more on you have to be.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, a song like this, like, it's very stripped down, I guess, especially given the rest of the album right here. It's just y'all performing. I would imagine that would be part of it too. And I think that's interesting too, because you guys, to bring it back to something you said before about how, you know, you guys have been playing for a really long time, and you kind of had found your sound and your confidence, so, you know, the riffs and the songs and stuff like that were able to come when you guys were writing this, but yet it was still a really, really hard album to make. I think that's an interesting juxtaposition there. You guys are challenged even as you're like, we know who we are, we found our confidence, we found our voice, but yet we're still challenged with trying to create this thing that we want to get out.
Absolutely, and I think to a certain extent, like John said earlier, you know, until the record was mixed, like, I don't know if it was ever truly done. Like what Anthony was saying with, what was it? With Sleep Deep, the guitars at the end were kind of a happy accident in the studio. Like, no matter how prepared or confident we were, like, there's still an open mind going into those situations where it's possible.
And also, like, not being content, you know, like, you're gonna find those moments where, I mean, we did a lot of, we had to kind of find our way in the recording process, and a big credit to Roland Weary, who recorded and mixed this record with us. He was there in the trenches with us. I mean, he was there, like, when I was just like in the studio and just like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? And, you know, he was there kind of guiding and helping us find our way. We learned so much.
He really became a fifth member, I would say, of the band
Yeah,
at a certain point.
For sure. No, he was just so involved, and even just tonally, like, it was really fun because we kind of gave him the opportunity to he loves just turning knobs and finding things, and finding ways to make things fit. And I think just what he did for us, you know, was just like, yeah, we can't thank him enough. So
Yeah. I mean, even little things like in Animal Kingdom, there was a delay pedal that I wanted to use because it was just like this old cheap delay and it had this cool crackle to it. And he was like, "Oh, bring it in." I was like, "Oh, it broke." I was like, "Bring it in, I'll fix it."
Fuck
Yeah.
The next day, it was fixed.
Yeah. No, but that was you tried 3 or 4 delays, and you're like, I can't. This is not what this part needs, you know. And yeah, it's just you push through. You make it happen. You know,
I love that.
yeah. So,
At night, he drove to the practice space with us and picked it up, went home and fixed it. Yeah.
mhm.
We are on Worlds Apart now, gentlemen. Have to say, Day 15, really stunning. Like that, this is an album I know that we'll have to go back to and like spend a lot of time with because there's a lot going on, right? And I can't like digest all of the lyrics while running a stream and talking to y'all and everything like that. But just off first listen, yeah, that track was stunning.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, Worlds Apart, like, speaking of stripped down, you know, this was something very, very different for us. Yeah, and I remember when recording this too. This was one that took some time to kind of find the voice, not just vocally, but, you know, guitar wise, and we did a lot of experimenting with different amps and different guitars. You know, ultimately, kind of like with Zach, we had access to some really, really great instruments, a lot of aluminum necks and things like that, which is partly why I think the album sounds, you know, as bright as it does. But this track in particular, we were testing out a couple of different those guitars, and I went back to, I have a white Jericho Avenger. It's a baritone, and I was just like, no, it's this. It's got to be this, you know. Once you find that sound, sometimes that's kind of what it is. So.
We also debated a long time, or I don't know if it was a long time, but we were talking about like how stripped down to make this song, like, and when everyone else would come in and all that kind of stuff. We talked about for a long time.
Oh yeah, and I mean, like, the only guitar I play in this song is a little bit of slide guitar. Something I had never pictured myself doing, part of my playing vocabulary. But like at practice, Anthony came in and was kind of doing the singer-songwriter thing, and I picked up a lighter and started doing some slides as a joke. Like, you know that kind of works. So.
Yeah,
good illustration of some of the chances that we took on this record. And
Is that what we're listening to right now? It's like ding, 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 ding. Let's start the.
No, that's Anthony's solo.
Okay.
But yeah, the slide comes in. Yeah.
Zach's gonna come in next album cycle with the lap steel guitar now, and now y'all gonna go country and.
Yeah, this song is a tiny bit country.
It definitely has like a smoky, like, I don't know, lounge hall type of vibe, you know, like old 40s movies type of thing.
the work title that we had on
Yeah.
was True Detective.
Oh yeah, there you go.
'Cause, yeah, this song always just sounded like it was like in sepia tones to me. So.
This is the second to
7.
Yeah. Don't mind us, guys. We're gonna be in silence for about the next 45 seconds because it feels wrong to talk over this part.
All good. Actually,
That was really nice. That was really nice. All right, everybody, we are encroaching. No, we're not encroaching. We're in
Encroaching.
the final song of the album, y'all. 7 to end this one. But don't go anywhere. We got 7.5 minutes before this one is over. So, yeah, we're not going to say goodbye just yet, my friends. Did you guys have an idea of like which songs you wanted to release as singles? Did like you go back and forth with the record label? Like, how did that come about? Because I know like putting this song out as a single, I feel like is unconventional. Maybe would be the right word. I don't know. I thought that this just sounds different than a single, but also very, very cool as like an ending track as well.
Yeah, we debated about it a lot, I think, like, because we, in general, I mean, it was kind of a good problem to have, but we couldn't decide what songs to release as singles for sure. And definitely we're going back and forth with label, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Like, and everyone would have sort of different opinions, so it was interesting to hear, like, what they would say, and it was like, well, no, we never thought about that one as a single, and yeah, I don't know, for 7, I mean, yeah, Anthony or Zach, you guys could probably talk more about why we ended up releasing this one, but some of it maybe had to do with the fact that, like, Us Against from our last album, which is like 9 minutes long, ended up being the most popular song off that album, like by far. And yeah, and this one, you know, being the last track and everything, felt like it was a good kind of one side of what we do.
yeah, I had never pictured 7 being a single. Yeah, the people close to us, we really respect. We're like, dude, 7. But we went with it, and thus far, I think they were right. Like,
The interplay on the headphones and stuff like that, with the guitars and stuff like that, just like a musical feast.
awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stereo switching on this record, and pretty much anytime you hear that, that's how those guitar parts work. That's studio
Like
panning.
you tried a bunch of stuff and it didn't go through, and you decided to stick with that. Is that what you mean?
No, just in that, like the left-right on those guitars.
Yeah.
It is Anthony and I just 2 notes, 2 notes, 2 notes, 2 notes.
Okay, I got you. That's cool.
No, yeah, no, and you conceived that. I remember when you were writing that riff in the space with you, and we were working on it, and Zach loops a lot of riffs because he's got a looper pedal set up, but like he looped it at first to kind of show me what he was thinking, which is really cool too. Yeah, there's like a nice, and there are other spots on the record like that too, for sure. I think we did a good job of utilizing that. So.
Yeah, always encourage the headphones listen.
Yeah.
Always, always.
really fun for a 7.5-minute song. Like watching your guys' reactions and trying to figure out where we're at.
It's one of the vocal harmonies right now.
Awesome.
You guys can do a Christmas album. You guys have the yeah. I don't know. I just hear the harmonies. So it's like I can see them caroling.
Like I would say like Mariah Carey, "All I Want for Christmas."
There you go.
Zach, you can sing on that one.
That'll be my vocal debut.
They've been trying to figure out what our next cover song's gonna be, so.
There you go.
And we're at the kind of slidey guitar riff. Just like, again, each side, each channel of the headphone feels like it's doing something just like slightly different.
That's one of my favorite moments on the record is this build up towards the end of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I remember hearing it for the first time. I was listening on one of my streams, and we were just starting to go like, when this is coming, because it's what, 5 minutes into the song about? Yeah, about 5.5 minutes. And it works.
Yeah.
Like the build-up like really makes this punchy.
This is fun. So our the recording engineer and mixer we work with, Rollin Weary, when he was mixing this record, he was constantly texting us photos of Mel Gibson from Braveheart. 'Cause, I don't know, it just sounded like that, I guess. So.
Yeah, this build up is like the whole, just like the army just holds, you know.
Fuck yeah.
I like how there's no vocals at all. It's just, it's go time. I like that.
Yeah, dude, I think the longest song on the record has the least amount of words. Which
It's like a storm coming in, right? You feel those first little sprinkles of rain, and all of a sudden it's just like pouring down rain, and then it's just like gone as quick as it came.
Yeah, this is like the calm after the storm.
Which, personally, I love it when albums, especially albums that like you can really dig into and like kind of lose yourself in a little bit, give you that little bit of breath at the very end. So like it ends, you just kind of sit there for a few minutes, just in silence, kind of taking in what you just listened to.
Yeah, I think that's why there was never any debate that this was the last song on the album.
yeah.
And there it is, everybody. It fades out, and Comedian is done. I don't know. I'm just kind of sitting for a little bit. Everybody, hands together, hearts in the chat. I don't know. Just for Without Waves, y'all. It's a hell of an album that you guys got there.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yes,
Dynamic.
As we're wrapping up, I know I asked you guys this before, but I'd like to give everybody a chance to say their piece and kind of share. What do you want people to take away from this album when they're listening to it and as they're enjoying it? I guess, Zach, we can start with you since you technically have already answered the question. We'll just go around.
Yeah, I guess I'll try and... I don't think my answer will change much from the other day.
And that's fine.
Yeah, I think I'm still just a big believer in that. Now that it's out, it's really no longer ours, and people will take from it just whatever they identify with or whatever feels right. Just I hope that's what they get out of it, man. Like I really just want people to listen to it. Just give it a shot.
Yeah.
That's enough for me.
John, we can go with you next, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I said the same thing where it's like we have lived with this for, over 5 years now, working on it and putting everything for it together, and uh, it gets harder and harder to describe every time putting an album out, like it what it means, I guess, to finally have it out there and have people listen to it and get feedback, like good and bad. I like everything. As long as people are listening to it, it's that's all we want.
Gary, my man.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I just hope people, if they follow the band, see that it's a maturation from the last album.
Mm.
But other than that, I hope it, as long as people get some type of an emotional response out of it, I think then it's done a good job for them.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with all of those things. I think like one of the one of the things in Seven, right, is sort of just a general commentary on like, you think about the phrase "the light at the end of the tunnel," and it's important to be positive, like you were saying earlier and whatnot. But sometimes, at the end of that tunnel, it's not super bright. Sometimes gray and cloudy and confusing and sometimes fucked up. And it's just it's more so just accepting the nuance of it all, taking the good when you can, and kind of relishing in that when you have it. Life's hard. Let's just all try to be kinder to one another, or not. And I can be mean to Gary all the time, which I really like.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Keem, do you have anything for Without Waves, man?
Good album. Work on the jump shot. But it was a good album. It was really dynamic. I'm typically not a big fan because some bands when they do like the softer stuff and the harder stuff, there's really no transition. They just go straight into it. But you guys mesh with it well, and that's why I was like, oh, that transition's like great, like
Mm.
because it was smooth with it, instead of just going straight into it. Because it's like in like the softer parts, you'll feel a certain way, and then the when you guys ramp it up, you guys it's a change of emotion, but you guys like ease this way into it instead of um just it was like it wasn't a switch. So I definitely like that about you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, it
Thank
was
you.
definitely good. Definitely good.
Thank you.
Thank
Fuck
you.
yeah. Well, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Zach, John, Gary, and Anthony, thank you so much for spending the time with us to share your music, to share your time and everything like that. Y'all, if you're out there listening right now, whether on demand or live, Comedian is out right now. Pick it up via Prosthetic Records. Mazza put the link in the chat. If you want to just go pick it up right now, and I think that you should. I think you should go do it. And guys, thank you so much again for sharing this with us today.
Oh, dude.
Thank you so much for having us, man. Yeah, seriously. Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
really stoked to share this with you guys. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. It has been our pleasure. Until we speak again, and I'm sure that we will, I've been StayPuft. Keem has been Keem. Without Waves has been Without Waves. And we will catch you guys on the other